Done properly, a vegan diet is the healthiest diet on the planet. Here's how. When considering progressing to a vegan diet, it can be scary at first. Misinformation about human dietary requirements is still rife. Ever wondered why study after study comes out warning of the dangers of consuming animal products, only to be met time and time again with studies refuting those claims? And hilariously, even studies sometimes stating that eating fruits and vegetables is somehow harmful to us. Well, the truth is, if you have enough money, then you can pay a scientist to say just about anything. They don't particularly have to prove it, just cast enough doubt that the average person in the street thinks, I might as well just eat whatever I want. Even the scientists can't make up their minds. We love to hear good news about our bad habits, so the world at large continues to eat meat, dairy, eggs and fish in abundance. The fact of the matter is that in poorer countries, where they eat mostly whole plant foods, many of the chronic diseases that most of us will die from in the West are virtually unheard of. And there are doctors prescribing whole foods, plant-based nutrition as the only intervention and reversing all manner of diseases which mainstream medicine claims are incurable and require drugs to treat. We've had it drummed into us time and time again that we need meat for protein, milk for calcium, and fish oils for omega-3. But in reality, there is no essential nutrient in animal products that is not easily supplied by vegan foods. Consider this as an example. Meat is muscle. Meat is made out of the amino acids from the plants that the animal ingested. Whatever form of protein comes in, it is ultimately broken down into its constituent aminos before entering our bloodstreams. Then we build it into the various proteins that our bodies require, so the source of those amino acids is actually irrelevant. When we eat animals and the things that come out of them, we get a tiny fraction of the plant goodness. But sadly, we also get a lot of things that we definitely don't want, such as cholesterol, saturated fat, trans fatty acids, natural and artificial hormones, antibiotics, pus cells and bacteria. Of course, you can eat a junk food vegan diet and still have less than optimal health, for which reason I've decided to make this video detailing how to eat a healthy plant-based diet. Water is the most forgotten nutrient and the most essential to our survival and optimal performance. Flavour with a twist of fresh lemon or lime, or drink as a herbal tea to boost health benefits, particularly in between meals when blood concentrations of antioxidants will bottom out, lowering our immune function. Carbohydrate is our optimal species-specific fuel source and comes pre-packaged with the highest amounts of micronutrients. Fruits, vegetables and whole grains are the best sources. Eat grains intact, i.e. brown rice versus brown rice pasta. Flour products are too well absorbed in the small intestine, leaving little left to feed the good bacteria in our colons. These colonies need to flourish for many reasons. For example, they are our first line of defense against ingested pathogens, and they help form the neurotransmitters essential to our mental health. By the way, rotting animal protein residues in our colons produce toxic substances such as putrescine and cadaverine, which we now know lead to anxiety and depression. One more reason to leave animals off of our plates. Although debunked decades ago, an article in the 70s edition of Vogue magazine still has many thinking that plant proteins are incomplete. This is completely fallacious. In fact, the only incomplete protein in our food supply is gelatin, which is animal derived. The highest amount of plant proteins are found in legumes such as beans, chickpeas and lentils. Other good sources include nuts, seeds and whole grains, and many vegetables have decent amounts. Even fruits contain around 5% protein. Although carbohydrates are best used as our primary fuel source, we need some healthful fats too. The best sources for these are avocados, nuts and seeds, particularly ground flax seeds and chia seeds, which we should eat daily as they have the highest amount of important omega-3 essential fatty acids. There is no preformed cholesterol in any plant food, which is what makes it so hard for a whole foods vegan to develop heart disease. We do need cholesterol in our systems, but we manufacture all we need from compounds easily obtained from plants. Fibre. No animal products contain fibre. Little wonder that colon cancer and other GI tract diseases are so prevalent here in the West. Different types of fibre found in fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts and seeds also feed various strains of beneficial bacteria in our gut, and as I've already outlined, this is so vital to our well-being. Many omnivorous eaters struggle to reach the paltry 30 grams RDA recommended by the National Health Service, while we now suspect, like most modern tribespeople today, Paleolithic people used to eat around 100 grams. Now I'll talk about micronutrients. There is no need to try and address all the essential vitamins and minerals, and where best to source them. The best advice is to eat a wide range of fruit, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, spices and herbs. Ensure a range of differently coloured produce is eaten daily. The more deeply coloured they are, the more nutritious they tend to be. For anyone that wishes to check they are hitting all their macros, I recommend the Chronometer app, which is easy to use. I'll briefly touch on some of the key micronutrients that people claim vegans can sometimes struggle on. I'll include 5 examples for each. There are, of course, many more. Some of the best foods for iron include beans, beetroot, green leafy vegetables, dates and sprouts. Calcium is found in apricots, broccoli, cauliflower, hemp seeds and raisins. Zinc is found in decent amounts in corn, grains, mushrooms, nuts and seeds. Iodine can be sourced from seaweed, sesame seeds, onions, Swiss chard and watercress. Vitamin E is abundant in avocados, flax seeds, green leafy vegetables, nuts and sweet potatoes. While eating this way provides almost everything we need, there are a couple of supplements recommended for people eating any type of diet. Vitamin B12 is a waste product produced by certain bacteria. The modern world is so sterile that we no longer ingest it in our drinking water, so a supplement is vital. The cyanocobalamin version is recommended over the more expensive methylcobalamin, as the latter is relatively untested, whereas there is a slew of data backing up the former's effectiveness. If we're not getting good amounts of strong sun on our skin, then a vitamin D3 tablet is recommended. A vegan version is derived from lichen. It's said that the greatest secret in modern medicine is that under the right circumstances, the body can heal itself. From my experience and that of many of my friends and clients, I wouldn't be inclined to disagree. So my prescription for the longest, happiest, healthiest life is exercise often, avoid unnecessary stress, eat the diet I just outlined, and above all, leave the animal products well alone.